Alrighty, guys. I apologize for not getting any videos up over the last. Well, I guess I got some up last weekend, but not getting any up here in the. Well, not getting any up of any substance here in the last day or so. And frankly, I haven't really had much to take video on because stuff gets so jacked up here on the holidays, and then to top it all off, it kind of. We went from being biting ass cold to now it's like almost 50 degrees out and snow's melting, and I don't know what the heck that temperature swing did to my head, but it's felt like a brick for the last 2 days, so it's just been hard to get in the mood to do anything. But I have been puttering away at a couple things, and I got the muffler for the 4150 ready to go back together. Basically, this is... Yeah, this was the original outlet for it, and this was the this right here stuck out the top of it like that. And as you can see, the reason it's all kind of, not in one piece anymore. And then this is the piece that actually went down inside the muffler. Tell you what, it was a bear to try to figure out how that thing came out of there, because there was a this was originally all one piece up like this, and this was all one piece, and apparently when this finally rusted out, they couldn't get a muffler or an exhaust pipe or anything to stay tight on it. So my guess is when they tried to clamp it, it was just crushing it, because there's basically no metal left there. So they took like a 5-inch pipe, or however big it ended up being, I never actually saw it, and sat it down on top of the muffler and just welded it to the top of the muffler. This is all fine and dandy, except that when they welded it, they hid the little dimples, because if you can tell, there's a spot weld there, there, and there. And the weld bead they laid on there hid them little spot welds. And when it was all still one piece, when it lays down in the muffler, there's a bead of weld, a regular weld bead all the way around here, and that's what seals everything up. And then them spot welds are actually down inside this flange. Well, hell, if I could figure out that there was spot welds in there. So I was trying to get the thing out in one piece. Eventually, I got frustrated with that, and I ended up just sawing this off, because cutting the outside weld was actually relatively easy. It zipped right off, and I got down to the pipe no problem, but I started trying to wiggle it and move it, and this thing was, before I wadded it all up, was big enough I was able to get my hand down there and feel around on the inside. It's like, well, there's nothing welded on the inside. What the hell's holding it? But eventually I got some stuff bent and figured out that there was them spot welds in there, so I got them cut out, and so that's the pipe that was in there. And actually, it's not even pipe, it's just a rolled piece of sheet metal, and there's you can see it right there where my thumb is, there's a weld seam. So it's actually not even pipe. So, what we did, replacing it with Schedule 40 steel pipe. So it'll never rust out again. A muffler will probably rust out, and this thing will still be going. But in order to make it breathe a little bit better and maybe give it a little bit more of a bark, even though it'll still have a muffler on it, instead of doing all them little pinholes like what they did, I went and milled in 6-inch and 1/4 by 5.5-inch slots to open it up on the inside a little bit instead of all them little pinholes. So just got to weld that up, and I found when I was tearing it apart, there's a crack there and a crack there I got to weld up, but that's all I really saw on it. And then that and the manifolds are going over to get powder coated, and they're just getting done black. I thought about doing the same chrome powder coat on these that I did on the 1955, but then I figured, well, if I did that and then it's getting the stainless heat shields on it, it's like, yeah, that's a little too much shiny. I think that'd look kind of gaudy, so Muffler's getting blacked. Manifolds are getting blacked. Then it's going to get the stainless heat shields put on it. And then we've got some, these actually are not the factory pipes that go from the manifold up to the muffler. These are something they made. And actually, I mean, they did a good job making them. Everything fits, kinda, but we're redoing them because they interfere with the side panels. So we've got some mandrel bends. We went up to Lane Automotive yesterday and got some mandrel bends coming, and we're gonna fabricate our own pipes, because you can still buy those from Agco, but they're like 700 something bucks for the set, or for the pair. That's the other thing, is it's just supposed to be 2 one-piece pipes, and apparently the muffler shop they had do these couldn't do something that needed to be done, and they actually ended up having to make 3 pipes. So, and the one that comes off of, if you're looking towards the front of the tractor, the pipe that comes up off the right hand side of the motor going up to the muffler, the way they did this isn't actually routed right. So when we do it, we're going to make it more like factory, which is what these two are. This one's a copy off of a factory original, and this one is a factory original, but it's junk. So we're going to make these out of stainless 2 3/4 mandrel bend exhaust pipe. And then Lane's also got some high performance spun glass heat shielding wrapping that you wrap around the exhaust. We're going to put that on there, just on the tubes, to kind of keep the engine heat away from the fuel tank. And we've got to find, there's some between the muffler and the fuel tank, kind of in the inside of the tank, there's supposed to be a we haven't actually figured out what material it's made out of, but there's supposed to be I'm assuming it's supposed to be like a spun glass as well, heat shield that lays in there. We need to figure out what that's made out of, so we can A, either get one, or B, make one. So there's that. Hopefully get that finished up. I would have done it today, but we got my Christmas. My mom's parents coming up here in a couple hours, and then we do our regular Christmas tomorrow. But like I say, everything is all jacked up during the holidays, so hopefully get that done Monday morning, and then Tuesday get it off to powder coat. I also managed to beat all the dents out of the grill, and it actually worked, or came back out pretty nice. So, and I polished up the center strip a little bit. The only thing about it is they must have rubbed it up against something at some point, because there's all these scratches in it, and I don't really know how to take those out. Not that it's that big of a deal, because if you stand back, you really can't even notice them, but I'll figure something out. So that's coming. Yesterday we also, this is a piece of it, we got all the new tin, all the new tin for the gravity box measured up, and the girl that was doing it drew it out in AutoCAD. So hopefully this time it'll come out right. That's the nice thing about AutoCAD, is she made all 3 pieces and then threw everything into one program file. And when you do it, you're able to put all the pieces together like they'd be in the box, and everything fit right. So I guess we'll see. And then the other thing we got going, which is the plan for Monday, is we're going to bring the 18 up and get it tore down, so we can hopefully get the clutch done in it this week. It shouldn't be too much, or shouldn't be too hard. Hopefully get the motor and everything out of it, sitting in the stand Monday. Dad's got to work Tuesday, and I volunteered to go into work Tuesday, so have him working on the clutch while we can't do anything, and then hopefully by the end of the week we'll have the clutch back. 'Cause other than Tuesday, I got the rest all next week off, so get this done. I want to get soil samples pulled. I spent some time yesterday on the computer getting the rest of my seed figured out. And the corn I already ordered. The beans I got ordered yesterday. I'm actually doing something a little different this year. This field behind the house is going to go into 15-inch beans. I'm going to block every other runoff in the drill, which isn't exactly the way I wanted to do it. Eventually I want to get an actual bean planter so that I have more accurate depth control and a little bit better metering. But this field back here is going to go into 15-inch beans. It's kind of a trial. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm getting some Group 3 Roundup Ready Extend beans, which is what I'm going to do the 15 inchers with. The rest of them are going to be 2.8 regular Roundup Ready beans. But I kind of wanted to try some of them Extend beans, and the dealer, or my first choice dealer, offered me some of them Roundup Ready Extends for the same price as some Roundup Ready 2s, so figured what the hell, I'll give her a shot. What's the worst that could happen? So yeah, although I probably won't make a video of it, got muffler for the 1800 going back together and going in a powder coat, or sorry, the muffler for the 4150. 1800's getting tore apart Monday, and hopefully get some soil samples pulled this week if the ground firms back up. Which is the one thing I wasn't too unhappy about snow melting, because that makes it easier to pull samples so you don't get to trudge through 8-9 inches of snow. And we're actually supposed to get some rain early in the week, so that might make all of it disappear. And then it's supposed to get cold again, which is hopefully going to firm the ground back up, so that ought to make life real easy. But anyway, that's our Christmas update for the day. And also wanted to say Merry Christmas to everybody, since I won't be putting up a video tomorrow. But as of right now, with the 1800 saga starting Monday, so be looking for those. Although it won't be much of a saga, probably one coming apart, one going back together, unless we run into some unforeseen problems, which I highly doubt. So yeah, that's where we're sitting right now. You guys can be looking forward to some actual decent videos here starting on Monday, and Merry Christmas and all that jive, and stay safe during the holidays if you're traveling, and we will catch you guys at the beginning of the week.